Hey guys, what's going on? APL here, APL Fisher on Xbox Live, and today I've got some Counter-Strike for you guys, and more specifically, just some information on the M4 in Counter-Strike. Obviously, it's the CT side rifle, and just give you some information and some ways you can improve with it, in TDM, and some tactics you can use. And I would say the number one question I get about the M4 is, should I use it silenced or unsilenced? I'm going to pull up a damage chart here, and this damage chart, it's real basic, but it just shows how much damage the gun does if it's unsilenced or if it's silenced. So at the very top there, as you can see, the numbers in the back that are backgrounded that are on the white background are the numbers that the gun, or the numbers of damage that the gun does unsilenced, and in the green, that's the if you're using the silencer, that's how much damage the gun will do. So as you can see, the big one right here, right off the bat, that you can see is how much damage it does with a headshot with the M4 if you're using it unsilenced. 131 damage possible, and that that'll depend if they're wearing head armor and stuff like that. But that basically means if they're not wearing head armor and you one tap them, 131 damage, they're going to be dead. And that's kind of a big deal. I didn't really realize it was that significant, because if you hit them in the head with a silencer and they're not wearing head armor, you're not going to kill them instantly. It only does 92 damage max. So that's kind of a big deal, and something you might want to consider when deciding whether or not to practice with the gun silenced or unsilenced. Personally, I use it silenced, but I'll kind of go into more into that later as far as why I do that. You can see chest and arm, 32 damage unsilenced, 23 silenced. Stomach, pretty big difference, 28 silenced, 41 unsilenced. Trying to think. Some of them are the same. Oh wait, no, that's the weight. Chest and arm, 22 damage, silenced, unsilenced 32. So some decent differences there. The big one though, obviously, being the headshot. The difference between getting an instant kill if they're not wearing head armor and having to hit them one more time. So here I also wanted to do a recoil test for you guys and kind of show you what the spray is. Now here I'm just holding down the trigger. I'm not moving left or right or up or down, and I'm doing it silenced or unsilenced first. There you can see the spread, and now silenced. I'm going to do two tests. I do one further away here, and then one a little closer. So I'm going to go in here, and this kind of surprised me as well. Obviously doing a little bit of research for this, and I'm not crouched and stuff like that, so this isn't a comprehensive test. But you can see just off the bat, the spread from the unsilenced recoil is a lot tighter. It's not as all over the place, and with the silencer, it definitely gets a little more sporadic. So we're going to try this again. I'm going to move a little closer here and do the test here. All right, and pretty consistent results there. About the same, pretty tight spread there. And then this is with the silencer, and you can see a lot more sporadic, kind of more all over the place. So I mean, not huge differences as far as at closer range, as you can see, more similar, but further away you can definitely see the difference. It shoots up and to the right, unsilenced. So that was something that was interesting to me. And now here some gameplay of me using the gun silenced, and this is the method I prefer. I preferred silence, and there's a couple of reasons for that. One, that's kind of how I grew accustomed to using the gun when I was first starting out. I used it silenced because that was pretty much what everyone in competitive play did. And whether or not I knew why they did it or not, probably not at the very beginning. But the most obvious thing is the muzzle flash. You get rid of the muzzle flash if you're using the gun silenced, so that's big if you're in smokes. And it's also kind of harder to pin where the guy is, obviously, visually, if you don't have that muzzle flash. So I would say that's probably the main reason that people in competitive play use the gun silenced. But I also feel, and though the test didn't necessarily, the recoil test didn't necessarily back me up on this, I feel like it's easier to control the recoil of a silenced M4. For some reason, you'll see in a little bit, I use the gun unsilenced in the same deathmatch, and I really struggled with it. I probably because I'm not used to it, but also because I feel like when you spray, even close range with an unsilenced M4, it's a lot harder to control and get the kill. And here also another big tip. I talked about this in the AK video, but using the crouch method, or the crouch shot as you're shooting. So you'll see me do it a couple times. I don't know if I do it here anymore. But that's control is what it is default. So basically, when you're starting to shoot or spray or whatever, tap that key as you are doing that, and that increases your accuracy significantly. And here I'm using the gun unsilenced, and you'll kind of see the difference with recoil, how it shoots up to the right, and that is consistent with the test. Shoots up and to the right there. And then here's a good example of, like, I'm real close range, and with the silencer, I would have gotten that kill a lot quicker because I'm more used to the recoil, and I feel like it's easier to control, and there I was really spraying. And there, once again, consistent with the recoil test, the gun shoots up and to the right when you're kind of full autoing it. So yeah, so I mean, not a huge amount of difference as far as actual gameplay tips than with the AK-47. You'll see that long range, I'm tapping it. I'm not full autoing, and that's really important. You know, you never want to be. I mean, recoil in Counter-Strike is really going to kill you if you're not used to that. You know, from playing console shooters like Modern Warfare 2, you're going to get a real kick in the pants when you try to play Counter-Strike. So really learning how to control the recoil and not spraying or full autoing at distance will really help you improve with the gun. And like I said, the crouch shot is really important as well. So just to recap, should you use it silenced or in silence? I know that's what you're thinking. Tell me what to do. But I can't. It still comes down to preference. I will tell you, like I said before, the majority of the competitive community uses the gun silence simply because there's no muzzle flash and the recoil, for the most part, seems easier to control at different ranges. Now, obviously, you get the higher damage rate with the unsilenced option, so you know, that could be something you could try out too. I have seen some successful, some really good competitive players prefer it unsilenced because of that damage, the higher damage. But really, to each his own. Try out both ways, and then once you decide what you like, TDM with that, play deathmatch with that a lot, and you know, you'll have some success with this weapon. All right, guys, hope that was helpful. I'll see you guys later.